Hello everyone and welcome back to A Couple Books. This is Couple as per usual. Today we're going to be doing another book tag video because we have quite a few tag videos to get through and I wanted to get through all of them so that you guys could see them because I love doing these tag videos and I'm so thankful to be tagged in them, and so I love, Okay, let's go. Today we are going to be doing the spoiler book tag video. Those words in that order, please. Thank you very much. And I would like to give credit where credit is due. First of all, credit due to Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. Gunpowder Fiction and Plot is a great YouTube channel. Go check them out. It's two people who review books and do all the cool things that us booktubers do. And I've only watched a few of their videos, but they seem fantastic. And please do go check them out. Their channel link will be down in the description box down below, as well with the person who tagged me, who is Liz for Booking Out Loud. Liz is an amazing booktuber. Please do go check her out ASAP. Her link to her channel, it will also be down in the description box down below. Please do go hop over to both of these channels, like and subscribe and all the good stuff. Send some comments of love their way, okay, why don't ya? Now, let's get into today's actual video. Today's video is going to be 9 questions. I'm super excited for these questions and let's go. Okay, number 1. What do you consider a spoiler? This is a very interesting question. And because of that, I'm going to ask the second question right away. Does the genre you're reading impact what you consider to be a spoiler? So, now I'm going to answer both 1 and 2 at the same time because that's what we're doing here today, people. Okay, so what do I consider a spoiler? Based off the second question, it does really depend on the genre we're reading here, people. It's not just like, oh, this is a spoiler, this isn't a spoiler, because I think it does vary. For example, in a murder plot or a murder mystery, those types of things, I don't want to know anything really going in. Like, maybe tell me a little bit about the murder itself, maybe tell me a little bit about the characters we're going to meet, in the sense of like who's our main protagonist, our main character, our MC. But otherwise, I really want to go into most murder mysteries blind. I really don't like knowing a lot about them. For example, Crooked House by Agatha Christie, I went into that blind. I just knew that this guy died because he was injected with drugs. That's like all I knew. I didn't know anything else. I went into it completely blind, and I really do find that the most enjoyment comes from not knowing what's going to happen. That's for murder mysteries. When it comes to like fantasy worlds or fantasy books, or especially high fantasy, I like knowing a little bit, or rather a lot of it about the world, and I really want to know as much as possible without getting into spoilers, because I want to kind of have an idea of what I'm getting into. I want to know, are we dealing with dragons? Are we dealing with a political arena? What are we dealing with here? I like to know a little bit about the world when going into it. Is it based off fairy magic? Is it based off regular wizard sorcery? Like, what are we walking into? What are we going to see? These are the types of things I don't really consider spoilers because they help me frame what kind of book I'm getting into, and that is actually a really big deciding factor on whether or not I'm actually going to read the book. So, yeah. I hope I answered that. Maybe I didn't. I apologize. Okay, we're not perfect, Mom. Number 3. All the best bits are in a trailer. Sometimes a synopsis can be too detailed. Do you research books prior to reading them, or do you prefer to know nothing about the book? Once again, this is a very much a genre-specific question. I do so much research when it comes to picking up fantasy books. Like, I watch so many YouTube videos on them, or as many as I can find. I read book reviews. I read a lot when it comes to fantasy books or sci-fi books or anything with like big world building elements in it. I do spend a lot of time researching this, and I do spend a lot of time on Reddit. I spend a lot of time on BookTube. I spend a lot of time reading, awards and that kind of stuff to figure out really what I'm going to get and if I'm going to pick it up or not. In terms of like mysteries, murder mysteries, horror books, those things I do also tend to look and see what people like, but I don't tend to look in too detailed. Like, if I see a title multiple times, usually that's enough for me to pick it up, because I purposely do not really want to know what's going on in the book outside of like, is it a haunted house story? Is it a murder plot? Like, what is happening? Outside of that, I really would rather not know too much more. So, next question. Sometimes the introduction or translator notes can spoil the ending, especially for classics. Has this ever happened to you? No, because pretty much every translated works I've ever read, in both language, in any language I've ever read it, I've never like had like that happen to me. So that's never been an issue. And for classics, like, I just know the ending to most classics because you just get spoiled throughout, like, Spark Notes. So it's SparkNotes' fault, people, okay? SparkNotes spoiled me for all the good old classics I could have read as an adult and fully appreciated, but instead, as a middle schooler and high schooler, I just SparkNotes it because that's the type of person I was. I was busy reading Twilight, okay? Moving on. 5. Name a time someone spoiled a novel for you. Okay, so this is actually a kind of intense story. So I was like super into Percy Jackson when I was younger. Like super into it. I still love Percy Jackson so much. I didn't know the ending at all. I was like completely like, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know anything. And for our reading reports in like 8th grade, 7th grade, 9th, in some grade years ago, we had a reading report due and we were able to read books that we loved. And so we had to come and we had to present the book. Someone did a report on Percy Jackson and they spoiled the entire last 2 books for me. True story. Mic drop. True story. I wouldn't lie to you. No, this is actually legit. That actually happened. Someone literally did a book report and they presented it to the class and they spoiled me. The other time I was spoiled for a book ending was I didn't know the ending to Dance of Dragons by George R.R. Martin, and I was not really like super into the series. I was like maybe on Clash of Kings, like I wasn't like super into the series yet, and so I was just kind of like watching the TV show and also reading the books, but like at that point it diverged, so I didn't really know what the ending of Dance of Dragons was going to be at all, and someone spoiled it to me when I was like nerding out about Game of Thrones with them, and I was like, I cannot believe you just told me that. So yeah, I've been spoiled twice, once in a book report presentation and once by a friend over dinner. Number 6. Have you ever spoiled a novel for somebody else? Yes, I accidentally spoiled a novel for somebody else. I was legit talking about a murder mystery I just read, and I was sitting at a dinner table, and then the next person over said, oh, what are you talking about? They're like, I think I've heard about it before. I'm like, oh, I'm talking about this book that I just read. And they were like, oh my god. And they were like, I'm in like the first like 30 pages of that book, and I literally had just like gone on for like 10 minutes to this person about who the killer was and why it was so cool that that person was the killer, and this person was like listening in on the entire conversation and didn't clue in that I was talking about that book until she asked me specifically, are you talking about this book? And I was like, oopsie. I try and be super careful about spoilers. Like legit, I don't look up anything about big books that come out. I really try and remain spoiler free, and I try and do the same thing for people I'm around, especially on this channel. I try and be as spoiler free as possible while still making people interested in reading the books. So that was a devastating blow, people. Like, devastating. Died right then and there. It was over. Number 7. If spoilers ruin novels, are there some authors or genres you can't reread? No, definitely not. I think even, like for example, even if I knew the spoiler about Percy Jackson, I still wanted to read the rest of the series because I still love the characters and I still love being with them. It didn't matter that I knew where their story was going, I still wanted to be with them. And that is still the primary part for most things. Like even murder mysteries, I'll reread a murder mystery even after knowing who the murderer is, because then you can pick up on additional clues and hints the author leaves behind, especially a really talented author, that you're able to pick out and you're able to be like, oh, that's juicy. Yeah, so like, I definitely don't think spoilers like completely ruin a book. I think that they take away some of the enjoyment on the initial read through, but in no way do I think that they like completely utterly wreck a book. No, I don't think that. But you can disagree with me down in the comment section down below. Why don't you? See you down there. Number 8. When reviewing, are you spoiler free? Does this limit your ability to discuss? When reviewing, are you spoiler free? Most of the time, yes, I am spoiler free most of the time. I try and remain spoiler free because I just feel like I want you to read the book and I want you to pick up the book. So I'm going to give it to you spoiler free. Also, most of the time, unless I'm doing like a complete series review or I'm doing like the next book in a series review specifically, I'll try and remain as spoiler free as possible in general, just so anyone can watch the video. And I feel like anyone who watches the video and has already read the book, you can pick up on things I'm dropping hints on if you've read the book, and then we can both laugh and chuckle at those things I'm dropping. But if you haven't read the book, then you're not spoiled for anything and you can go ahead and read it anyways. So I do try to remain spoiler free, and does this limit my ability to discuss? Obviously, if you have a book that's this long and you're only discussing this part of it, then obviously like it does limit your ability to discuss it. Does it limit the quality or the content? No, I do think it limits how much you can talk about the book, but I don't think it necessarily like limits the video itself. Does that make sense? Comprende? Am I speaking English today? I don't know for sure, but Yes, go. Number 9, shout out. Tell us about 5 channels you enjoy and then tag them. Okay, so I'm going to be tagging 6 because I love everybody. We are just going to go through real quick with the tags, and I hope that everyone I tag doesn't feel pressure to do this. This is completely like I'm just offering it up to you. Sorry if I missed, if you've already done this video. I wrote down these names like 2 weeks ago, so apologies about that. So here we go. First, May over at Books. I hope you enjoy doing this tag. Next, Steve talks about books and stuff. I hope Steve loves doing this. Books with Ange. I hope you as well enjoy talking about spoilers. Lady Jane Books, as usual. Raul Reads. And Nikki Renee. I hope that all 6 booktubers enjoy doing this. If you guys feel like doing it, if you guys don't feel like doing it, absolutely no pressure. Of course, all their channel links will be down in the description box down below, so please do go check out and subscribe to all their channels so that you guys can see when their spoiler book tag video pops up. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed today's video, or if you guys want to see more of this, then please do like, comment, and subscribe. If you feel like it, comment down below. What are some of your answers to these questions? How do you feel about spoilers? Have you ever been, I would love to hear stories actually about times you've been spoiled, because I think we've all at least been spoiled like big time once or twice in our lives. So please comment down below a time that happened to you. Interest me with your stories. I would love to read them. Oh, and as well, of course, if anyone else wants to do this tag, please use this as the opportunity. This is the universe speaking to you. Pick up the spoiler book tag and do it. Okay, the prompts are down below. Pick it up, do it. Comment down below if you're going to do the video, and so we can come and follow you and check out your channel and watch it. So, with that being said, I think that's actually everything for today now. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank me so much for being here. Like, thank you, thank me. I don't know. We're also going to thank Nova. She's over there somewhere. So thank you, everyone. I'm hilarious. Once again, thank you guys so much for being here, and I will be seeing you guys later this week with more videos. Talk to you guys soon. Talk to you guys later. TTYL. I'm hip. I'm cool. Bye now.